One of the big issues in the industry, in the global printing industry, is how to attract new generations and young people to this industry. Here at IGAS, there is actually a little corner called, as you can see, Smart Factory Zone. It is education, it is product presentation, but it's just outside the entrance. There's also a really nice machine that has been wrapped really in a nice decoration. And I'm talking to Bryan from Horizon. Bryan, what do we see here? What is this?
Well, this is our BQ500 4-clamp perfect binder and HT300 3-side trimmer with a custom wrapping that was done by a student actually at Kyoto University of the Arts.
And when I look at a machine like this, I want a machine like this. Is that the kind of the attraction here, that now you can get them like car wrapped binding equipment, or?
I mean, we weren't sure how it would turn out, so maybe if this gets good reviews, then it's definitely an option in the future, I think.
INKISH will give it a good review, I promise you. So I understand, I mean, as I said in my introduction, basically one of the issues in the industry is, of course, how to attract young people to the industry. And here is a brilliant example because, first of all, it looks cool, but it also shows something that I think a lot of young people find interesting. Robots, great design, even AGVs taking. Is that what you think can drive an interest into the industry in the future?
Yes, especially with the anime Japanese comic culture here. We've taken traditional Japanese woodblock print designs and kind of transformed it into a more version that's more appealing to the next generation, so that we can hopefully find kind of a new interest for the industry.
And I mean, of course, that interest eventually have to give people an education and interest to seek work in the graphics arts industry. But eventually the printing companies, they need to invest in this technology. Do you see that as a bridge for them as well?
Yes, as automation is becoming more and more important these days, we like to try to show it off as much as possible with our equipment and everything that's going on. So for this specific system, we have, as you can see, 2 robotic arms, and we have an AGV that we actually use in our factory. So it's definitely possible for not just large companies per se, but even smaller companies and middle companies to access this sort of technology.
Is it also from a price and productivity perspective interesting at the current time?
Yes, because robots just keep moving. You don't need any humans there. That's one of the concepts behind this collaboration, actually, is that we're not binding. The books go in, they go in through the binder, they get fed to the trimmer, and then after they exit the trimmer, they get taken back from the end to the beginning again by the AGV. So essentially, there's no human interaction involved with the collaboration or in the system, and it'll just keep going on and on forever.
And with that said, I was just thinking, the people that we are attracting to the graphics arts industry in the future, they are not only like skilled workers when it comes to binding and printing, but it's also, computers and programming, and maybe that is also where you feel that this can be an indication of how it is working in a printing company in the future.
Yeah, when people say printing industry, they might not think of robotics and all this highly automated equipment. So just by having this here and showing all this moving and showing it being applied to a real finishing application like this does really good promotions for the industry, actually, right?
Yeah. And have you got any feedback from being here and then having this little show off here?
Every time I've come by here, there's been lots of crowds, so it obviously draws a lot of interest, not just the robots, but the art. Rico also did a fantastic job printing out the wrapping, so thanks to everyone who helped create it.
And just a little side note to what we're seeing here in the background is also that I think Jan will maybe cover it a little bit later, but you also have some really nice artist work in the front of the machine, totally different from this one. Last question in that perspective is like the collaboration between the universities and young people and also the vendors and manufacturers in Japan. How is that?
Well, it's something that's going to obviously need to happen if we want to keep the printing industry going on for the next generation, getting involved with the schools and younger places where younger people are evolving. it hasn't really been too popular until now, but after the success of this, I think it'll be something that we see more and more.
Yourself, was it 36 or something like that? You're 36, right?
Close.
Close.
Take away 6.
30?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, sorry. I thought you said 36. And I was just wondering, you're a young man yourself. How did you get attracted to the industry?
I've been around print my whole life without realizing it. I grew up actually reading Japanese comics and, of course, going through school and reading lots of popular books that came out. And I didn't realize what went into making books. And then I am also into art, so I've been doing a lot of marketing at Horizon, and then I got to realize how closely related that the industry has been to me my whole entire life, and I think it's just great that I get to do this now.
The reason I'm asking you is because, I mean, you are an ambassador to the young generation. I mean, I think that maybe you are with this attracting even younger generations, of course, but it must be quite interesting because, I mean, you are a very good example yourself how you realize that print is all over us. I mean, it's in decor, it's in clothing, it's in books, it's basically everywhere, right?
Yeah, and you don't really realize that until you get into the industry, which I think is the same with a lot of other different industries as well.
So when you see a setup like this one, you have a good faith that it can be attractive for other young people in the future as well?
Yes, I mean, when I personally get excited for something, I know that other people will be excited for it too. And when I saw this, definitely got me excited and being glad that I'm in such a bright and colorful industry.
Thank you, Bryan.
Thank you.